Hi guys. I would be making an application which is used for um, having employees apply for leaves, and on the basis of their leaves, we will calculate their salary. So, in this video, I'm going to do a system design, and if you want me to code this out, most probably I will code it out. But if you really want me to code this out, just write it in comments so that I can code it faster. Allocate more time, considering that you guys want to see it, whereas I'm just assuming you might see it. Um, without any further ado, we're gonna make a system design. We're gonna write down our requirements first. So it's gonna be like I can create a company, add employees to the company, uh, employees can log in, and employees can apply for the leave. And leaves can be added by the admin if employee was absent. Leaves leave re- so employee is gonna give us a leave request. Basically, it's a leave request which is from point 4 can be accepted or rejected. So we can accept the leave or reject the leave, and now there are actually two parts to it. It's actually leave and salary calculation. So we have talked about the leave. Now we're gonna talk about the salary calculation. So we're gonna add base salary and add base salary and number of paid leaves in a year, in a year, and if employee takes more leaves than the paid leaves minus is from his salary. So the minus from his salary, it is actually can be like 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 if I want to do, let's suppose I make 100,000 dollars in a month, and let's go for $90,000, $900,000 a month. So I'm actually making, if I divide it by 30, then I'm actually making $30,000 a day. So if I take a leave, then I have to do 900,000 minus 30,000. If I'm taking an unpaid leave, then it's gonna be $870,000. So I need to pay this salary at the end to my employee. So this is the kind of calculations we have to do. And there is one more case, whereas in which there can be a scenario because employee is taking a leave and unpaid leave. So instead of charging 30,000, we can charge 1.5x. So it can be like 900, because 900,000 is gonna become 45 minus $45,000. So we have to calculate this thing. So it's gonna be for 8, and now it's like we gonna minus 9 4 55 $855,000. And so you need to pay this particular price. So we're gonna add this functionality as well, where we are actually letting the admin decide if it's gonna be 1x like this, or if it's gonna be 1.5x. So because it can be a scenario where we are doing 1.5x. So let me just delete this thing out, and I would come to the designing of the database. So designing of the database. So I'm gonna share this document with you guys in the description, so you guys can look it from there. So database. So database is first table is going to be users table. We will have ID, which is primary key, auto increment. We would have name, which is of type string, and we can have email, string, password, string, and after ID, name, email, password, you can have type if the user is admin, or if the user is employee. Then we can have companies, we will have ID, primary key, auto increment, we would have name, and we would have owner ID, which is a foreign key of user ID. Then we have users, we have companies, then we will have companies and you companies and employees table. So company employees company employees table. Again, we will have ID, primary key, auto increment. We would have company company ID. Actually, in this case, we won't have any ID in terms of company and employee. We will only have direct company ID, which is a FK for company ID. And so we're gonna have user ID, which is a FK for user ID. So why we are having only company and user ID? Because we only need it, and we don't need any key, a primary key, because this is as a whole is going to be our primary key. So these two is our primary key because they're going to be unique. Either the user, this particular user who is an employee, is in the company or he's not in the company. So this is the database design. For the users and companies, now we have to have a database design for the salaries. So I think so the salary part should come um, in users table as only salary. It can be a float. And so we have companies. So in companies we can have um, paid leaves. So it can be an integer, like how many paid leaves we have in a year. And now we're gonna build a leaves table. So leaves is going to be like ID, PK, primary key, and auto increment. User ID, user ID who applied for the leave. So it's gonna be a foreign key, and it's gonna be the status. What's the status? Status is gonna be string, but it can be like what all options we have. We have applied, accepted, and rejected. So we have status, user ID, and yes, that's pretty much it. And then we would actually, okay, this is pretty much it. And we would actually have two variables in each of the table which are common, is created at and updated at. These are going to be common in each of the tables. So we have users table to store the admins and employees. We have companies to have to store the company information. Then we will have a company employee table, which gonna have relationship between the companies and the how many employees the companies has. And then we're gonna have a leaves table, like where the user is applying for the leaves. And for the salary, we're gonna actually compute the salary which at the runtime for that particular month. So only one thing which we are missing in companies is I feel it's the ratio which I was talking about, that 1.5 and 1. So that is one thing we will add up. I'll just move this thing a bit down, and we will add 1. So we can name it as leave, like uh, salary to reduce percent. So it's going to be percentage, which is going to be in a float, like 100%, 100. It will be minimum 100 to maximum 200 we will give. Salary to reduce percent. So we can talk about the name. We can change the name later. I will. And what else we can have? So if you guys think of anything else, do let me know in the comment section. Like what else we can have, and what all things I'm missing. Uh, and now coming to the API design. So our API is gonna look like a domain slash version slash resource. This is how our API is gonna look like, and now we will go resource by resource, and then we would be able to um, point out the APIs which we would be building. So the first one is users. We will have sign up API v1 user post. In this we're gonna sign up the user, API v1 user login post. Then similarly API v1 user get. So this is not going to get all the users, but it is going to get the current user info. Considering the fact that the user is logged in and we don't have any admin panel right now, but if we might have in future, then we can have a get user like that. And if we have admin, considering the fact we have admin panel and API v1, we're gonna have user and the ID of the user, so that we can get one user. But this particular thing is considering the fact that we have admin panel as well to show. Anyway, coming to the companies. Company is API v1 company. So one user can create multiple companies. So we're gonna have post API v1 company get. It gives all the company by user. Yeah, so now we will have one more option to actually API v1 company put to update company info, and API. So company, it's gonna be followed by company ID. Make this clear. Similarly, API v1 company ID, we will have delete to delete the company. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And that looks great. And we will have one more last API to leaves. No, actually we're missing one of the APIs, which is adding and removing employee to the company. So we will have API v1 company and ID, and add EMP. It is going to be a patch request. Where we will be sending an employee ID. So we would be needing EMP ID or employee ID in the data. And similarly, it's going to be a same API v1 company ID and delete employee. So again, we need to pass it's gonna be a patch request, delete employee, and what we will have is the question is now if should we put it in the different resource or should we have it in the same resource. But for now, we will have it in the same company resource, or maybe you guys let me know in the comments if I should put this thing in a different resource like company employee resource. So it's gonna make it more sense over there. So coming back to the APIs, we're gonna have leave, and leave will again have same APIs. Post to add a leave by the user, then we will have update to if the user wants to update the leave, and if the admin wants to update the leave, so we will have user updating, we will have admin updating, and post user admin, and if users want to delete the request, then we will have delete, and that's it. So the only one API point which we are missing is actually getting the salary of the user. So I think so it's gonna come in the users API v1 user salary, and we will have two options: start month and end month. So in terms of month, what we can do, we can pass something like an 01 slash 2021 kind of figure. So we just have to have a validation for that. So this is pretty much it, guys. I hope you liked that tutorial on how you're designing a system for tracking employees and everything, employees leave and salaries. And if you want me to add a few things into it before I start coding in, do let me know. And I'm gonna have these notes which I've written in the link in the description, so you guys can download the notes. And thank you so much, guys, for watching this tutorial. Do share it with your friends, like my video, subscribe my channel. It really motivates me to make new content for you guys. Thank you so much.